Hello guys, Beatrice here. Nice to meet you. If you haven't seen me before, please consider subscribing if you're new here, and if you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you. So I share content around the UK, being an international student, being a nursing student, and everything in between. If I have tips, if I see places I think you guys will love to see, I always try to, as much as I can, to film them. And I love you all for coming back every time to watch. I'm grateful. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Button is down there. Thank you. So today I'll be talking you all through how to write your own personal statement. Another name for that would be a statement of purpose. This is a document you need to put together by yourself that will show the school. It's just to give them a brief overview of who you are as a person, what you like to do, what your experience so far has been, your educational qualifications you've had, and just like a brief summary of who you are and why you should be picked for that course you are applying for. So if this is something you want to see, because at the end of the video as well, I'll be sharing extra tips you could add to your personal statement to just make it stand out. And it's not as difficult as people think. Okay, so if this is something you want to see, please stick around. I'll be right back. So guys, welcome back. To make this process or me explaining this to you easier, I'm going to break it down into paragraph, like what you should put into paragraphs, if that makes sense. I don't just want to explain broadly. I want to like make it really specific, so you could know that if you want to sit down and write yours right now, this is what you would need in paragraph 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so paragraph 1, yeah, whatever course you want to do. I don't want to limit this to just nursing, but at some point I might throw in some nursing examples. But for paragraph 1, what you need to show whoever is going to read that personal statement is what you know about that course. Why are you interested in this course? Why, if it's nursing, why nursing? If it's data science, why data science? Why do you love this course so much that you want to have to pay this amount of money to come and study this course? So you want to tell them your interests, what you love about the course, why you're picking the course. But I think the most important thing about your first paragraph would be your opening sentence. The very first sentence you write on your personal statement. Sometimes I advise some people, if you don't know what you want to put in your first sentence, you could write the other paragraphs, write everything else, and come back, because your opening sentence is going to be, it should be catchy. Like, let someone read it and be like, oh, okay. It just arouses their interest in your work. And sometimes people advise that you use a quote that relates to that particular course. If it's nursing, what thing stands out in nursing that anyone who is a nurse or any nursing lecturer would see and be like, oh, this person actually has an idea of what they're coming to do. That's literally what paragraph 1 is about. Your interest in the course, why nursing, how did your interest start? But you may, for example, nursing, a lot of people actually would say their interest started when they were children. Sometimes I would say that's too cliche, because to say I've always wanted to be a nurse, something must have sparked that interest when you were at some age as an adult. Bring those in and throw those lights in your first paragraph. Make it really interesting, make it intriguing, and keep that person glued, because sometimes they get really tired really quickly because they have so many others they have to read, and you need to make sure yours stand out. So paragraph 1, again, I say, what is your interest in this course? Why this course? What is inspiring so much about this course that out of all the thousands of courses you could have picked, you're picking this course? You need to be intentional about it. Why nursing? Why engineering? Why data science? Why that particular course? And you need to make it very clear. You could add a reference if you want, if you put a quote somewhere from a book, from someone very popular, and they have like an article or a journal. If you like, this is not necessary at all, it's not compulsory, but if you think that would hold someone's interest, then yeah, of course, please add it. Okay, and that's paragraph 1. For paragraph 2, guys, I always tell people this is the paragraph where you sell yourself. The first paragraph, you've talked about what made you fell in love with that course, what is your interest in that course. Second paragraph is where you tell them who you are in terms of your experience. Okay, this is where you can mention your qualifications in the past, previous qualifications and experience. If you have for example, if you are applying to come into nursing and you have an experience as a healthcare assistant, this is where you want to put it in. This is where you want to tell them that I'm the right person for the right candidate to be picked for this admission. What skills do you have to attach? What did you learn during that work experience that you can bring into this course? Now, this is where it gets tricky, because some people would say, Beatrice, I did my first degree in something not even close to nursing, say business or whatever. Even if you are changing careers, you're changing occupation, there's something called transferable skills. No matter what you did in the past, trust me, there are skills you can transfer into this present course. You just need to find it and make good use of it. If you did business before and you did whatever you did before, pick those skills you know you are really good at, and mention them, and then mention how you're going to transfer those skills into nursing, or those skills into this course you're applying for, and how it's going to make an impact in this course, if that makes sense. I'm going to use nursing as an example again, I'm so sorry. But if you did business and you, in your first degree, and you have an experience in business administration, for example, you could say, coming into nursing, you have managerial skills and you've built that up for so long. Obviously, nurse managers are very important in our occupation. So pick those skills, unpick them, bring them together, and apply them into this present course you're coming into, or this occupation. And trust me, it's going to blow their minds, because it's not every day you see people who can transfer skills from a very different sector into the health sector, or a very different sector into another. So if you show them that you can actually transfer those skills you've had, regardless of the fact that you didn't start your career in this course you're coming into, trust me, it's a plus. Okay, and that's it for paragraph 2. No plenty talks, no too much plenty English. Just hit it, go straight to the point, make your points in clear languages. When I say sell yourself, I don't mean boast. Don't come off as if you're trying to show them who you are or something. Just make your points plain, simple, and known, and that's it. Leave it at that. So guys, we've talked about paragraph 1, talked about paragraph 2, now paragraph 3. For this paragraph, I like to tell people what you can do is bring why you are picking the UK and why you're picking this university, and marry both of them together in one paragraph. Why you're picking this university, it could be the course outline. When you checked the university's website, you saw the outline, you liked it, you liked how the modules are named, how they are going to be taught, you like the facilities, because every course outline on the website would have the facilities and how you'll be learning, how many percent seminars you'll be doing, workshops. So bring all of those in. And don't lie, like, they know what they put on their website. So you go there, read the course outline, and pick nice things you see there. Could be the delivery, the course, the way the modules are going to be delivered, even the way you're going to be assessed. You could add that as well. Facilities, what do they have? They have library, they have simulation suites if you're coming for nursing. If you're coming for nursing as well, it could be the placements. Why are you picking this university? What do you think makes this university stand out of the other universities could have been? You could also make this a generic personal statement, where you could send this one personal statement to different schools, most especially if you're applying through UCAS. So you don't have to put any university name. All these universities and these courses would have similar things on the course outlined on their website. So pick those things up so it can be generic, so you don't have to mention any university's name, so it can apply to as many universities as much as you decide to apply to. And then for the part of why you are picking the UK, there's a lot of reasons why it could be the UK. It could be cheaper. When I was coming to the UK, I did research on how much this master's would cost me in Australia and in Canada, and what I found was that the UK was actually the cheapest. I also checked the US as well, regardless of their what's it called now, their currencies in those countries. At the time, I was living somewhere else in another country, so what I did, I converted those currencies back into the currency of the country where I lived. And what I found was that the UK was the cheapest. So you could say the UK for this course you're coming for is cheap. You could say that you're someone who likes meeting people. That's you throwing a hobby into that paragraph as well. So that person reading that will know that this person likes meeting new people. That's a hobby. And the UK is somewhere where there are multinationals. There's India, lots of different country people. However, you're from this country, you would like to meet people from other countries, and as well it could be their food. You like to try new food. And like the UK is somewhere, everybody know for a fact that UK is somewhere you meet this plenty amount of nationals from different parts of the world. So it could be that. So find things that make the UK stand out. I've mentioned some things that make the university stand out. Make sure the university's part is generic. Marry them together to make one paragraph. That's it for paragraph 3. And what you've also done is, in that same paragraph, you've also added your personal hobbies, which is really good. So now you're like adding, like you're building this brick block building. Okay, and we're nearly done. Now guys, let's talk about paragraph 4. Some people like to do paragraph 4 and then paragraph 5. Some people do paragraph 4 and then just do a concluding 2-line paragraph. But for paragraph 4, what I like to talk about, what I like to put into paragraph 4 is what you aim to achieve from this course. It could be a 5-year goal plan. Like, for example, when you finish this master's, or even if it's a BSc, at the end, I would hope to register with the Nurse and Midwifery Council, become a registered nurse in this and this and this place. And in 5 years, this is where I would love to go, and this is what I would love to achieve with this this certificate I'm going to be getting from this course. I think that is very important to add into this paragraph, 4th paragraph as well, is why should they pick you? What is so special about you? Aside the fact that you've talked about your experience, your skills, you've talked about your interest in the course, you've talked about why you're picking their university, there are some other things you should add in this paragraph as well. You could say things like, of course, everybody knows that nursing could be quite challenging, but what can you do, like personally, to help yourself in this course while studying this course? It could be your discipline, it could be your time management skills. Let them know what's so particular about you as a student, or when you are a student, what do you do? How do you put in the extra work to achieve that goal? So they see that, okay, we're not just admitting anybody, we're admitting someone who is going to be dedicated to this course. After your 4th paragraph, you can literally just decide to close it with closing sentence. You can actually leave it there, explain why they should pick you, and leave it there. Some people like to go for a 5th paragraph, but honestly, I don't see why you need to. But if you want, you can. Okay, and that's it. Next, I'm going to be sharing the tips you can throw into these personal statements you've built up to this point, and just to make it icing on the cake. That's the word. Some icing on the cake. Okay, now guys, we've talked about how to build your personal statement. I call it build because we started from the scratch and we started adding on top of the layers until we got to the end of it. So now the tips you can add. The first tip I would mention is start early. It's always very good to start early. You could write 1 paragraph per day. Start early because I think I would say you are at rest. You're not in a hurry, you're not in a rush to finish and submit, so you don't submit anything like a rushed work, if I would say that. Start early, think about your thoughts, just flow. You can always write as many drafts as you can. It doesn't have to be one perfect draft the first time. When I wrote my very first personal statement, it wasn't a perfect draft the first time. So start early. Another tip is to come back another day. Just give yourself like a week off. Come back, look at what you've written. I promise you, you would have more ideas the next time you go through it. So give yourself a break, write the first draft, give yourself a break, and then come back. Have a look. What can I add? What can I subtract? What else can I put in? What else can I take out? Okay, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is, it's yours. It's your personal statement. It's not someone else's. It's not the person who's going to read it. It's not theirs. It's yours. It's your personal statement. Own it. So when you write, don't write like someone that's scared. Own it. You know what you're saying. It's your experience. It's your inspiration. It's your motivation. All these things you're saying is yours. So you need to make it sound believable. So own it. It is your personal statement. So when you say, I'm writing my personal statement, it's yours. So write like you mean it. Okay? Very final tip about anything personal statement, anything statement of purpose is, when you read the course outline on the university's website, you would see expectations from students. Pick those expectations out and make sure that at some point in all those paragraphs you've written, you put them in different parts. So when they read it, they have a list, like a checklist of what they should see. So when they read your personal statement, it will colorate and make sense. You get it? I know you do. So now that we're finished, like this is all personal statement, I feel like by now your confidence level with writing personal statements should have increased. Yeah, I believe so. And it's not like I know all or something. It's just what I've learned over time, because I remember the very first time I was to write my personal statement. Oh my God. I didn't have any confidence of putting any words together. I felt, would they think I'm credible enough? Would they think I'm writing something good enough for them? But I did, and I got offers, and here I am. So you need to apply these skills, build your personal statement. And one thing I need to add as well that is very, very important is your personal statement should be between 550 words to 1,000 words. Please don't go across 1,000, because if it's too lengthy and too bulky, the person is going to get tired pretty quickly. So make sure it's between 550 words to 1,000. Don't go past 1,000. Honestly, I actually tell people write 600 words. I've actually previewed personal statements for people where they write it and give it to me to help them read, like take a look at. And I always tell them, don't write up to 800 words. Just write 600, 650. You should be fine. You don't really need to start talking everything back and forth. State it and that's it. Go to the next part. Okay, so when you finish writing this, you could give it to someone to read. Give it to someone else and be like, does this make sense? And then come back, have a look again, subtract and add. All right, guys? So guys, that's it. That's all I have to tell you for now concerning personal statements. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something from it. And please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it to as many people, everyone you know that needs to write a personal statement, or everyone you know that would like contents like this. Subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.